What's up, guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2022 Toyota Camry LE. Up front is a 2.5-liter inline-4, and down below is an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this Camry LE for a couple of reasons. Mainly the fact that now that the new Camry is out, this is the final generation that isn't all hybrid. From 2025 model year onwards, Camrys are only hybrid. So this isn't, and we're going to be talking a little bit about that later on. The second reason is the fact that I think this Camry is really, really good, and I'm excited to share all of that with you. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And huge thank you to Napleton Subaru in Schaumburg for letting me borrow this Camry for today's video. You can browse their inventory in the description below, but we'll talk more about them towards the end of the video. But let's get back to that 2.5-liter inline-4. Well, it makes just a touch over 200 horsepower and is the evolution of the engine that replaced the 2.4-liter that had so many oil issues in the 2000s. So Toyota righted their wrongs and actually made a very, very robust 2.5-liter. Now, you could find these in hybrid as well, and it utilized the same 2.5-liter, just added a hybrid system, but you weren't forced to get a hybrid. Now in 2025 you are, but here you weren't. And you could find these with the 3.5-liter V6, which I would personally prefer, but I'm okay with the 4-cylinder here today. Like I said, paired to it is an 8-speed automatic. Again, love seeing this, and it's not a CVT, although I would say that Toyota's CVTs are the best in the game because they have an actual real first gear and then they shift into the CVT. But none of that matters here in today's video because we don't have a CVT at all, and I'm very happy to see that. Last but not least, the Camry is front-wheel drive. However, you could find all-wheel drive Camrys in this generation, and moving forward, you can find all-wheel drive Camrys, which basically just puts an electric motor at the back to spin the back wheels. Gasoline engine works the front, but this is just the front-wheel drive. How does it feel to drive a 2022 Camry? It's uneventful. It's fine. The road noise is a little bit loud, but I'm also on kind of a loud road, so it's not a great showing of that. Steering is exactly how you'd want it. Visibility is good. I mean, really, this is such a solid base for a car. This is the vanilla ice cream of cars. This is the bread and butter of cars, and it certainly drives that way. I don't think anyone's ever fallen in love with a Camry and how it drives. I don't think anyone's ever hated it, so it's right down the middle. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 4 physical gauges and a screen. Off to the left, you'll find the tachometer and coolant temperature, and off to the right, you'll find the speedometer and fuel, and then I do get a digital screen in the center that I can cycle through a couple things. I've never really been impressed by Toyota's screens, at least in this era, but it does give you some good information. It's decently colorful, and it's interesting enough. On the steering wheel, on the left, we have our selectors for that gauge cluster screen, as well as our go back, phone button, volume, and voice commands. And off to the right, we have our cruise control, mode, and skip track. Off to the left, we have a climate control vent, automatic high beams, traction control off, and our trunk release, as well as our gas cap release. And moving on to the door, we just have our power mirrors, power locks, and power windows. Moving into the center, we do get the infotainment screen, and this is before Toyota started doing giant TV screens in their cars. Take a look at this Tundra, and then take a look at this Tacoma. Huge. This is small, and it actually feels nice and in place. Nothing too crazy going on here. And here's the backup camera in case you're curious, but again, nothing crazy being written here. Very, very standard. Down below that, we have the climate control vents and hazard switch. And then our climate controls. We do have dual zone climate, which is fantastic to see. I always look for that in vehicles like this. Fan speed, auto, things like that. And down below, we have our USB and 12-volt outlets. Then we do get an openable cubby, which is really nice. It adds a lot of space to that little area. Shifter off to left with the drive modes at the bottom for Eco, Normal, and Sport. And then we have cup holders off to the right. So we will do a big friggin' bottle test. However, as I think every Camry in the past, it too fails the big friggin' bottle test, but no one is surprised. Then we do have heated seat buttons, and this is very interesting because this is unlike any other Toyota heated seat button I've ever seen, and that's very unlike Toyota to make a one-off switch. Very, very odd, but here they are. We also get a center console with two USBs in it, USB-C and USB-A. Pretty early in 2022 to have a USB-C, and I like to see that. The seats are fine. Again, nothing special, but they work. They're holding me in the car, and that's all I can ask for. However, speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2022 Toyota Camry LE. Nothing really to report back here. I don't get vents, although I have a space of where they would go. I don't get them. I have power windows. It's a big plus. I get this light. Center console. What might this hold? Oh, two cup holders. Cool. That's it. Basic, but I'm 5'11". I'm not a small guy. My head fits great. My knees aren't hitting the seat in front of me. This is a very comfortable car. So if you're looking to buy one, especially for like a ride service, this is going to be great. If you move this seat up, you're going to have even more room. And the people back here aren't going to know what to do with all the space. So very nice to see all of that. No major features beyond that, but nice to see nevertheless. Let's hop into the very back. We'll talk about the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, on the back of the Camry LE from 2022, press and hold here on the key fob. Come up here. And there you go. You do get a Camry all-weather floor mat, which is fantastic to see. Other than that, again, just like the back seat, no major amenities or anything in the back, but tons and tons of space. If you have a kid that's moving into college, if you're moving into college yourself, you want your first car, you're going to need one to get around to clinicals or around campus. The Camry is fantastic, and you're going to be able to fit pretty much an entire dorm room full of stuff. Pretty much an entire dorm room full of stuff. A dorm room's worth full of stuff. What's the white? I can't talk today. You can fit a lot of stuff in the back of the Camry. There you go. Love to see that. Just pull it down nice and easy. There you go. Now we got to talk about the looks, and I like the look of this generation. I think it's aging pretty well, especially compared to the new generation of Camry. I think this was a handsome generation, and they did have a TRD Camry, which was very cool, and they did have a sort of like nightshade edition, which was really cool. I drove one with bronze wheels, thought that that was really hot. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving this 2022 Toyota Camry LE? Well, I love the simplicity of this car, or at least how simplistic it feels. I understand that there are still computers on board and new tech, and yes, this vehicle will send data to Toyota if you allow them to, but in terms of an automobile, there's nothing crazy that you have to learn in order to drive this car. There's no manual that you have to sit and read for 5 hours just to figure out how to turn on the AC. There's none of that. And so while sure, it makes my job a little bit harder of figuring out what the heck to talk about for the entire video, I enjoy that. Buying a Camry lets you enjoy other parts of your life. It's never ever been the focus of the conversation. Never have I ever been at a dinner party and someone said, you know what, I just picked up the new Camry. And everyone golf claps at the table and goes, oh yes, he's got the new Camry. What's that like? Tell us about it. You get to talk about other interesting parts of your life. You know what? I just took my Camry out to the East Coast, up to Acadia National Park. It was beautiful. Oh, tell me about the park. What was the best part? Oh, Beehive is the best trail. It's a little tough. It's a little sketchy, but it's great. Has great payoffs. Wow. What'd you eat? I had lobster rolls and blueberry pie and moon pies, and it was great. You get to share those stories now, instead of talking about, well, mine is actually one of 16 made, and it has this beautiful stitching on it, and it's only available in these 3 colors, but I was able to get... Camrys make you more interesting as a person, because you don't have a crutch to rely on, and I think that's what makes them so great. They're this foundation to a happier life. And getting in the car today, I just have to share, this is a used vehicle from Subaru. Whoever owned this before was heavy on the perfume. And it's raining today. It's warm. I just want to curl up with a book. I just want to sit at home under a blanket, watch reruns of Ghost Hunters on the Sci-Fi Channel, or just an endless loop of Pawn Stars or Deadliest Catch or something like that, some mindless TV show. And sit there under a blanket and you're kind of dozing in and out of consciousness and you're safe. That's the beauty of laying on the couch, is that you feel safe. It's not as formal as being in bed, but it's comfy. And for that moment when you're dozing, life is all right. And for this moment right now in this 2022 Camry, a car I know so well, I feel comfortable. I feel safe. And I like that. I like that a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Napleton Subaru in Schaumburg for letting me take out their Toyota Camry. Napleton Subaru in Schaumburg is absolutely wonderful. You can find their information down in the description below. They always have cool and interesting vehicles. This is just the one that I chose today, but we've been working together for years and I can't recommend them enough. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.